Diamondbacks winning ball games, and this guy at the center of it all, the numbers during Ketel Marte's 10-game hit streak. Torey Lovullo said earlier this week, D-Row, because the numbers in the beginning of the year weren't great. We've talked about that at length. He said stats didn't tell the story, right? There were a lot of unlucky balls hit in the beginning of the year. And you have said for the last 3 weeks that he's going to be better than his numbers were.
I think there's a nice, you know what, Lauren? I think there's a nice blend of using analytics to find some joy when you're really scuffling. And then there's taking analytics to a whole nother level, which is what
the Cavaliers head coach
is trying to do.
Gosh, this guy, you can't get over him.
Dare I say, Robert, perverse how he was using
feel like they were the better team?
It was a perverse way of using analytics. He said, well, we got swept. Basically, he said we got swept, but analytically, we won 2 games.
They were the better team.
Get out of here.
In what world?
That's what they say.
That's what he says?
Yeah. But he was grinding. We did the life coach tape yesterday with Torey Lovullo and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And truth be told, he pulled him in the office and he said, you need to be kind to yourself. You're the best second baseman in the sport. And it's not relatively close. The numbers are gargantuan. So let's get into it. He is on a heater, and we'll talk about looking at his expected stats early in the year and how we knew he was hitting into, like Lauren said, very unlucky, and now the tides have turned, and he has been on fire. Here's his walk-off recently against the Gigantes. Everyone going nuts. The uniform that he wears is unbelievable. And I go back, we'll leave this for a second. I go back to the WBC because I know I can make the argument for the U.S. roster, but the Dominican roster was as stacked with position players as you're ever going to see on one field. And who hit second? Ketel Marte in that lineup. So that's how Albert Pujols feels about him. That's how his countrymen feel about him. And since 2024, OPS leader since the start of 24. He's right above Kyle Schwarber with a 146. I mean, these are the game's greats, right? Hot change me. Since the start of 2024, here he is with the second baseman. Leads all second basemen in each category. He's a top 10 to 12 player in the entire sport. And when he hits the baseball, he hits it hard. And what's crazy is he's got similar numbers. We'll get into it. Similar numbers from both sides of the plate, but there is one side of the plate that I think he's a little bit better at. Nays thinks he's a little bit better at. When we were trying to game plan against them, there were situations where we didn't necessarily want him hitting from one side of the plate, and it's this side. Let's get into it. From the right side, this guy can absolutely pump baseball. Run this back. This is 95 miles an hour. 0-0, up 4-2, no think, man on first, middle cut. But people have to understand, I spent 2 years out there, 10 and 11, took BP out there every day. There's not many balls in batting practice going to the place where he just hit that baseball. Leave that alone for me. Very simple move. I love what he does. It seems like a high leg kick, but watch how still his head is. Run this until pause. You want to be in your most powerful position, man. There he is. This thing is, we talk about it all the time. Watch him use this. Sean Casey talks about using the front foot as a brake, but just watch him stay stacked behind his backside, inside of his back knee. God, get that to point of contact. Point of contact and pause that. Put your body, if you're a young kid at home, that is your most powerful position. Look at the striations and the curves in the pants right there. I mean, that he is delivering everything he's got. He's perfect. Get yourself in this position and then find a way to continuously try and get yourself in that position. We talk about all the time guys who come off their backside or leak. You can't get your body. You'd have to recoil to put yourself in that position. That is perfection. Take you through it. Here's the walk-off. Little slider down and in, game over. 1-0 count. He faced Jose Quintana recently. The reason I'm going to show these at-bats against Jose Quintana is he can do different things, Ketel Marte. He can take you deep, pause this real quick, or he can shoot you the other way from the right side. Jose Quintana is a guy that's got a little life on his heater. He doesn't get enough love. I know I always say he must be an induced vertical break guy. Nays fights me on it. There's some late life on his baseball. Run this real quick. Heater down, 2-0. Gets eventually to a 3-2 count. He wants that pitch back, but now I got to be a team player. I got 2 strikes on me. I can't go for the 3-2 pull homer. I got to stay on it, up the middle the other way, shoot a double. But now my next time up, I'm ready to be aggressive. 1-0, he tries to sneak a heater right here in a 1-1 count, shoots it down the left field line for a double. In-at-bat adjustments, in-game adjustments, consistently making things happen. I know we got a couple full screens after this side angle right here. Look at the numbers from both sides. They're crazy similar. 281 to 279, the on base is the same, the slug's the same, the weighted runs created plus is exactly the same. One of 2 switch hitters with a 500 plus slug from both sides of the plate, him and Cal Raleigh. But hot change it because this is interesting to me. Swings way hotter from the right side. As a right-handed hitter, he's up on the board with Junior Caminero, Stanton, Jordan Walker. From the left-hand side, 72.8. Swings 5 miles an hour harder from the right side. So game on the line, I'd probably keep him away from that side of the dish. All right, let's take a look at what he looks like left-handed. Getting most of his at-bats from the left-handed side, and then we'll compare the two. Because playing with a couple switch hitters over the course of my career, predominantly, I'd say about 80 to 90% of them are trying to do very similar things from both sides of the plate. The one I happen to learn a ton from, Chipper Jones, did 2 completely different things from both sides of the plate. But what I love about Ketel, he plays the entire game. You see him this rip, he can take you deep. He's also smart man with the sack bunt, moving runners over, and picks his spots and knows when he can go deep and when he can't. And the expected numbers were telling us that he was going to get on fire. I don't know how anyone gets this on fire, but if you take a look at it, Ketel Marte 2026 splits by month. Okay. In March and April, his average was 233. His expected average was 306. His slug was 388. His expected slug was 100 points higher. Now it's kind of figured itself out in May. 326, his expected batting average is 322, exactly where it should be. Slug is right on par as well. So let's get into a little side angles and we'll end it. Leave this right here. Definitely most of his at-bats are coming left-handed. A little bit more open to clear the front hip from the left side. One of the most closed stances from the right-hand side, which is interesting, does things a little bit differently. Definitely closer to the plate from the left side. And like I said, maybe looking to hit the ball up the middle the other way or keep himself closed from the right side. Run this. But when you look at it from the side angle, his hands are in the same position. The leg kick's similar. There is not much different. Run it. Into the back hip, pause. I mean, similar move. Run it. Hands stay pretty static. Stays behind the baseball from both sides, which is interesting. I played with Chipper Jones, like I said, taught me a ton about the game. He was a guy trying to do 2 different things. He got so many ABs from the left-hand side, that's where he felt most comfortable, that when Don Baylor came over and he won the MVP in '99, he said, hey, you don't get enough time to really practice all your right-hand stuff. Get on the dish, look to yank homers, and that's what he did. He got closer to the dish, started pulling the ball in the air, and then took his normal at-bats from the left-hand side and ended up winning the MVP.